folks, JD here, and today we've got a revisit of sorts. A little while ago I took up the Parrot swing, and I was really looking forward to flying it. Back at the time we were still flying in the little cage, and when I recorded it, I took it home, I edited it, and I was absolutely so disappointed with how the video came out. So I thought I'd take this back up today, give it another fly, see exactly what I think in a proper open area. Now let's have a bit more of an in-depth look into this. So we have the Parrot swing. It is a quadcopter plane. It takes off vertically and then you move it horizontally and it turns into a plane. With that in mind, it's extremely easy to control directly from the transmitter. It's a little bit more difficult to control from the smartphone. It has an optical flow sensor in the back just to ensure that it does keep altitude extremely precisely. And it does have a small camera in the back also. Okay, so I've just plugged her in. Now, let's get her on the mat, let's take her up and let's see exactly how she does in this open environment. Okay, so as you can see, this grass is getting very long and it is getting to be a little bit tricky to sort of set up this particular drone because it's so wide. It is twice the width of the particular mat that I'm using. So I've turned on the transmitter. We've bound now directly from the transmitter directly to the drone. With this now, I'm going to take her up. We're going to fly her around in this particular formation for a bit just to get a feel for it. It has been a few months. Then I'm going to flip it into plane mode and then take her around for a proper flight and see exactly how she does as a plane. So with that, folks, let's get her up.
Well, there we go, she is up. As you can see, look at that. A beautiful amount of stability within this particular quadcopter. Now we have the optical flow sensor at the bottom, which you can see is being used. As you do move your hand underneath it, it is going to increase altitude and it is going to move away from you. So, with this in mind, let's give her a bit more altitude and let's take her out. So, flying in this particular mode is quite fun. But, more than anything, I think everybody wants to see it in the plane. See, it's good. It feels nice. This transmitter, I've sworn by Parrot transmitters for a very long time. This transmitter is excellent. What I think is especially good about it is that it feels nice. The grips are nice. They've actually put some thought into building this transmitter and actually making sure that it actually fits the contours of your hand and actually speaks to you. And that in itself just makes up, you know, it just means a hell of a lot more when you're flying. Right, so with this, what we're going to do now, we're going to crank this particular button 3 times. I believe it's R2 if memory serves. Now with every single crank, it turns into a plane until that's what you get. Let's crank it a bit more because I think that can go down a little bit. There we are, a little bit more, a little bit flatter. And it's silent, it's so quiet. And it holds its altitude well, it flies extremely well. Look at this. No need to increase throttle, no need to increase altitude, just off we go. Little bit of roll, just to bring her around, and then we can turn around the other way. She turns remarkably quickly, remarkably well. She feels extremely stable. Oh, see, it's just so nice, and it's so quiet. So what do you do if you want to turn her back? Well, you use the other side. So you turn her one way with R2 and turn her back with L2. And now she's back as a quadcopter. And now we can fly her as a quadcopter with those great big sails. And she flies without any issue at all. And then once we want to put her back into a plane, we just crank R2 3 or 4 times. 3 times. And then turns into a plane. And I'm going to shut up when it comes back around. Try and see if you can listen out for those motors. So quiet. I would most definitely recommend landing and taking off in quadcopter mode. I've never tried taking off in plane mode. I imagine it would be nothing but a pain. So silent, so nice. Give her a bit more altitude there. Those sails in plane mode work tremendously well. They work tremendously well in quadcopter mode. But obviously when you're flying around as a quadcopter, you have got to be careful. If you do get a gust of wind hitting in one of those sails, it is going to move and it is going to be taken by the wind. The optical flow sensor is still going to work well, but obviously not as well as if the wind didn't hit it. So if you have got a little slight breeze, I would most definitely say do not take this out in any breeze. Today we've got a 2 mile an hour wind of 2 mile an hour wind, no, that's no such thing, 2 mile an hour breeze, to the point where the grass isn't even moving. Let's move this quadcopter around. Look, grass, not even moving, nothing at all, and the quadcopter is loving it, absolutely loving it. And what's more, it's loving it as a plane as well. And you can take it out, you've got quite a bit of distance with this transmitter as well. Obviously, let's not forget that it is a transmitter at the end of the day. You don't want to be taking it out too far and ensuring that you disconnect from the transmitter. Keep it within range, keep it within flying distance, keep it nice and steady, and you'll have yourself a fantastic flight. And a repeated fantastic flight as well. I think this is the second time I'm taking this particular drone out, and it's just lovely. It's just effortless. Look at this. Not even, I should have two hands on the transmitter, but I'm just trying to demonstrate exactly how effortless it is to fly in plane mode. You've just got no throttle, it keeps its altitude spectacularly well. It's just a little bit of roll every now and again just to turn it back around exactly where it was. There we are. Look at that. Beautiful. And then once again, when you're bored of that, you can just bring her back around, crank the L2 button until she's back in quadcopter mode. 3 times to turn into a plane, 3 times back as a quad. And then you can just take her out again. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, swear by this little guy. Absolutely. Of course, in the UK, there is no chance I can fly this in the winter. I think I recorded, if memory serves, I may be wrong with this, but I think if memory serves, I recorded the first video in September, October time, which is just before we start having some really bad winds. And, you know, it flew well, it flew very well, but at the same time, I just wasn't happy with the video output. But once again, I'm flying now in quadcopter mode. No need for that extra throttle. She's at an altitude, she's sticking at that altitude. You know, full control with the one analog stick. That is all it takes, and that is lovely. And what's more, you have, you know, it's great to take up a quadcopter that has a lot of gadgets and a lot of gizmos, but now and again you just want to take one up that is just so effortless. You know, optical flow sensor, you haven't got to worry about gyro being miscalibrated or barometer misreading when it goes over a pothole or over a puddle. You know, it's just effortless. All right then, I think we're good. Right then, now let's bring her back to me a little bit. Reverse is a little bit slower, as you would. Oh, that is battery, because the transmitter has started to vibrate. So all we're going to do is we're going to land her. There's no point me trying to land on the mat, because she doesn't fit. So what I'm going to do is turn her around, try and fly, or try and find somewhere which is maybe here, the grass is a little bit less long, and then click the one key, come on, click the one key land button, and she just effortlessly lands. And then, come on, there we go, perfect. Red LEDs, low battery, perfect. Alright then, so how was that? Well, do you know what, as if you couldn't tell, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is just so effortless to fly. It, again, a lot of people I know don't like Parrot drones for whatever reason. I'm not one of those people. I absolutely love them. The Mambo, the Swing, they're all very, oh, the AR drone 2.0, how can I forget that one? That is iconic. And they're all fantastic drones. A quadcopter, fantastic, works really well, moves really well, feels really good. As a plane, oh, I just think it excels as a plane. Absolutely. Nice, gentle movements, moving around, you can have a lot of fun with this little guy. And to be honest, the price now has dropped to such a level, it's not as expensive as it was. You get a lot more bang for your buck, get it with the transmitter. You can control it on the smartphone. I haven't on purpose, just because it's such a pain to control via smartphone. Although smartphone does give you, through the Parrot app, does give you a lot of great features. Honestly, I would still stick to the transmitter. There we are, folks. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.